Doc and Jocks. We have the pleasure of my Jocks that are today. Just for clarification, I am the Doc and hope to be Jock as well. I'm very honored and pleasured because one of the messages that I've been trying to do is to change the stigma. And stigma I define as a set of negative or unfair beliefs that a group or society has against something. And that something that we're talking about is cannabis. And today we're facing an opioid epidemic, not only in the United States, but globally as well. And we have a solution is what I'm looking at it as. And the Jocks are here to share their stories. I'm going to start with my far end with Riley, and I'm going to have them introduce who they are, how they became professionals, and how cannabis has impacted their lives. And then we're going to leave some time for you guys to be able to answer some questions as well. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Happy to be here, guys. My name is Riley Cote. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, in the middle of Canada. I played 8 years of professional hockey, 4 years with the Philadelphia Flyers. Retired at the age of 28 with a laundry list of physical injuries as well as some concussion issues. But I've been introduced to cannabis at a very young age, and cannabis has been an ally of mine since I was 15 years old. All through junior hockey career. When I turned pro, I was undrafted and I started taking on a different role in hockey and fighting. I was fighting 30, 35 times a year. So I realized cannabis was really helping my anxiety and promoting, a really calm nervous system and promoting good sleep. So, I think at the age of 20 or so, I really started seeing the therapeutic and medicinal benefits. So it wasn't until I retired at the age of 28 that I really started researching the plant and understanding the history of cannabis, the history of prohibition, understanding the nutritional profile of the hemp seed, started leaning towards plant-based proteins versus animal proteins, and started learning about non-psychoactive cannabinoids like CBD. I started treating my concussion issues with CBD, and I just had a whole other, whole other set of respect values for cannabis. Once I started learning these things, I became extremely passionate. I started a nonprofit called Hemp Foundation, and eventually that led to meeting a bunch of different athletes with similar stories, and was able to help co-found an organization called Athletes for Care, really trying to normalize cannabinoids through sports, and really showing that cannabis is a gateway to wellness and not the other way around. So that's the long and short of it. I don't want to take up too much of my time here, but thanks for having me, and I appreciate it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Viondy Merisma. I'm from Waltham, Massachusetts. I played with Tennessee Titans for a short time back in 2014, 2015. I went to AIC, which is American International College, Springfield, Mass. Actually, my first time using cannabis was my freshman year. So all high school, middle school, never touched it. My siblings were down. They smoke all the time, but it's not me. And my freshman year, I tore my knee, and my buddies were like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, try to, I got some cream I got from, way back out west. Try it out. I'm saying I started using it, and it was working. Like you said, I wasn't really using that. I wasn't using prescription drugs that my doctor was giving me. I was just using the creams, and then I was like, oh, this works. Let's try smoking. Let's start smoking, and then soon after that, doing research, and it started growing, and so I've been going for a pretty long time now, and Green Torch, well, the founder, Cote, Green Torch, I'm the founder, Cote, White Green, so White Green is a non-profit organization where we, basically give out the knowledge that we have possessed in the years of growing and dealing with patients. And the Green Torch is my cultivation micro business. So, I love cannabis, man, and it helped me out, and I'm just looking to help more people, spread the word. So I don't want to take too much time.
Hi everyone, I'm Eric Martin. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Went to the University of Nebraska. I played total of 5 professional years. I got 3 years in the NFL, 2 years the Super Bowl with the Patriots in 2014. Go Pats. I also played in Toronto and Winnipeg. And yeah, I do a lot of advocating. I started advocating probably about a year ago. Like, is when I really dug deep into it. I do a lot of different things in the cannabis industry. I put my time towards advocating. That's one of the things that I like to do. I'm working on a book. I'm working on a bunch of projects that involve fitness and cannabis, and I'm working with personal trainers and my routine. Just putting a lot of things together. I know a lot of former and current athletes that want to do things in cannabis, and so I'm working with them. And overall, just trying to pave my way in. Some people don't know what I do, but I just do a lot of advocating. That's what I like to do. That's my main thing. Advocate, making sure athletes and professionals understand that using it is okay. I talk to a lot of people, a lot of athletes, current athletes that ask me what I do and why I do it, why I decided to. Is because I suffered 3 concussions. In the 3 years I played in the league, each year I had one major blow, one major hit that slowed me down and put me out for a while. And one of the things that I did was use cannabis in order to recover, and I recovered quickly. But it's always that one hit. You never know when it's gonna come, and mine unfortunately came one after another. And so that's why I think it's important that these athletes and that some people with a voice or athlete with a voice should come out and speak for more athletes, because these athletes are getting bigger, stronger, and faster, and so the hits are gonna be harder. And they need to use cannabis to protect themselves in all aspects: head, body, shoulder, everything. So I'm Eric Martin. Appreciate your time.
I'm Jim McMahon. I've played in the NFL for 15 years. I'd like to thank the New England folks for 2 of my Super Bowl rings. They've become a lot more successful since I quit. So. Anyway, I am so happy to be here. Like these guys, I started early in cannabis. My first joint was when I was 14 years old. Made me feel great, made me eat, made me sleep. Since I've known Dr. Uma, that's what it's supposed to do. We have that system in our bodies that should be explaining. And we're supposed to be using this, not these pills that they shove down my throat for 15 years, 20 years after. They started in college. You start these guys out really young. They get them hooked on Ritalin and all this stuff as their kids. So when they get older, they must have to take a pill for something. And this stigma that doctors talk about is shoved down our throats for years how bad it is. No, it's not. It's great for you. It's a neuroprotectant. Anybody should be using this. It's football players, hockey players, anybody that has contact. It's not evil. I call it the God's gift to us. Without this, that's why it's so important that man had to find it back in the day. He could heal himself. He understood how good this plant was. Eventually, the rest of the world will know it too. So I'm not going to take up a lot of your time with BS. Let's get back down to the business of this, Doc.
I met Jim almost coming about 2 years, Jim, I think down in Jamaica, and I knew nothing about football or who Jim was. But this is one thing that I'm really dedicated to, and people that know me know that this is a passion and this is something important globally. Because this plant, I have 5 things that I say. It should be legal. We need to make sure we can cultivate it. We need to make sure that it's safe and with laboratory standards. We need to make sure that we have a label on it. And we need to make sure that we educate people about this system known as the endocannabinoid system, which rolls over Jim's tongue. And also that they can stigma. Even today, no matter where I go, people are so fearful because, I hate to say it, the United States of America is responsible for this. And we've contaminated world. And Riley said something. This plant, and I want everybody to understand, it's for 5 things. It's for food, fuel, fiber, paper, and medicine. And I feel it's for 5 things globally. It's for people, it's for pets, it's for the planet, it's for profit, and it is for peace. And that's what we're going to find. Other thing that's very important among all these people is that this plant is for prevention, folks. It isn't neuroprotectant, as you guys say, but prevention, maintenance, and treatment. And I want you guys to just go around and maybe we'll start with Jim. Jim, what were the kind of things that you've now learned with this plant, and how is it for those kind of things as far as prevention, maintenance, and treatment?
Well, it's helped me significantly. I take pretty much all the products, CBDs, THC in them without. I use the topicals. And I used to could not get out of bed in the morning. I had 18 surgeries when I played, and I think that's the reason I was able to come back and play early, was because of the medicinal effects of the plant. And I've only found myself feeling better and better every year. Everybody says I look good, and I do work out, as you know. I got young girlfriends, I got a lot of sex.
Yeah.
So it's great. I will continue it. Like I said, I've learned more from this woman here in 2 years than I ever knew before. And I'm happy to keep using it and keep advocating for it.
I like the fact that it's neuroprotectant. You know, that's the reason why I advocate so much for it. And a lot of head-on collisions, you know, kick off as a wedge buster. You know, playing against big schools, Ohio State, Wisconsin, you know, tough players, all those head collisions, you know. And once I found out that it was neuroprotectant, that's when I started trying to learn more about it and understand it and, you know, advocate for it. So that's the reason.
I want to tell people the evidence, patent number 663507. And also, they've been fooling us. Look at the World Wide Web, pubmed.gov. Again, PUB, pubmed, MED.gov.
I think, to me, the most important aspect of the plant is just its variety. You know, so I'm a patient specialist at Green with Compassionate Care in Rhode Island, and it's anytime I talk to a patient, it's like, hey, do you smoke? No, I don't smoke. I got something for you. You have high anxiety? I got something for you. Tincture. You know, there's you're just absolutely right with this thing, because it's like, you know, like guys, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying, so I'm Haitian. I'm a first generation American. My mom's from Haiti. My mom and dad's from Jersey. So, you know, my mom's a breast cancer survivor. My dad's a prostate cancer survivor. So, you know, me talking to them about, hey, you know, try some cannabis, you know, we try to break everything down to them, and the stigma is so real. The stigma is so real where it's like, you can give them evidence, and still they'll say no way. And you know, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot.
My response to this: what part of zero is not evidence, folks? Put that as a fact. Zero. Nobody has ever overdosed in the world from this plant, and we're losing 64,000 from an opioid overdose.
For me, it's the anti-inflammatory properties as well as the neuroprotective properties, and just obviously the pain management of it. But you know, when you learn about the neuroprotective properties, it kind of makes you wonder how much hypocrisy there is in this whole thing. When we were told and force-fed this bunch of shit growing up that it's, you know, it's ruining brain cells, and in fact it's not protecting brain cells, it's promoting neurogenesis, brain cell growth. So from that standpoint, it's, you know, it's amazing. I think you know, there's a lot more science being done on that, and I think we're probably years away to be actually using this in pro sports, as a first line of defense. But we're on our way. And then the other thing, Dr. Uma mentioned, the perspective of looking at cannabis from the side of preventive medicine. I think we seem to look at cannabis a lot of the times when we're deathly ill or it's our last option type of thing. I think we need to change our perspective on that and consuming cannabinoids daily, whether they're non-psychoactive or psychoactive. I look at them like a dietary essential, almost like a multivitamin type of thing. We're feeding our endocannabinoid system daily. I think we can remove a lot of the inflammation and remove a lot of the stress and anxiety and stressors, promote sleep and all these great things that we can do for our human body that mitigates some disease or mitigates some of these acidic conditions we get ourselves into. So, and besides that, from a nutritional standpoint, I kind of mentioned it, the nutritional profile of the hemp seed. Very digestible protein source, high in omega-3 fatty acids, the whole bit. So I look at hemp and cannabis as prevention and a cleaner environment from the start. So I think we're doing well with it, but I think a lot of people are just substituting big pharma with cannabis. I think that's great. That's a step in the right direction for sure, but I think there's a whole other step that we made, or probably a couple steps, and that's really kind of getting to the root cause of it and integrating cannabis in the front end and not being shy about using cannabis throughout the day. It doesn't have to be a nighttime thing. I think it's dosed properly and respected. It can be consumed all day. It's a dosing thing. I think people just need to find their dose and figure out what's best for their delivery method in a little bit. But to me, it could be a huge part of our lives. It just right now, I think we're just hitting a small piece of what it can really do.
Absolutely. I look at this as a food supplement, and depending on the individual, your deficiency can be different. And Dr. Ethan Russo has talked about this as an endocannabinoid deficiency and how migraines, fibromyalgia, and IBS are so documented. So look up this information, come in informed. And I like to use the word serving, and I like the word titration, because right now we have no freaking clue, sorry to say it, as to what we're getting, and the standardization is not there. With a synthetic drug, and this is what's different, folks, this is a food, so it's not the same thing you get every time. So I like to use the word titrate, and I say start out low or very low and slow. Make sure you hydrate, right? Because it gives you that dry mouth, dry throat. And as Riley has said, 3 tablespoons is 1 serving, 10 grams of protein, and it's legally available all over the nation.
Oh yeah, I got off pills 2010. I was eating 140 cents a month for 10 years into my career. I started using them in college actually, and finally moved out to Arizona in 2010. Got my medical license, and I haven't touched an opioid since then. This plant. Pretty much an all-day doser, so I feel as good as I'm gonna feel. Like I said, I'm gonna continue it. A funny story, I gave my dad, he had a knee replacement, and I had someone that balm that you can rub on your knee. And I said, it's got THC in it. He says, oh no, I don't want any of that. I don't want to be stoned. I said, Pops, you're not gonna get stoned, put this on your knee. But about 2 weeks later, he called me, wanted more. He goes, hey, you got any more of that weed stuff? My knee feels great. So I said, I told you, it's a medicinal herb, it's not a drug. Once people understand that, all this stigma will go away.
The stigma is definitely a big thing, especially when it comes to like athletes using it. You see like in the NFL, they're like so hard on players using cannabis. They need it. Athletes go through a lot of stuff in terms of worried about meetings, worried about if you're undrafted. I'm sure he has undrafted stories. I have many undrafted stories of stress that you feel, pressure, from being. They got 5 linebackers on the depth chart, and it's only going to be 4 come the 53-man roster, and so that they paid 3 of them a lot of money, so it's only 2 of you. So 2 of y'all is going to be, fighting for a spot, and you don't know who they're going to pick, and that's out of your hands. So thinking about stuff like that it's kind of it's rough on you. So like you hear a lot of players, undrafted players. We all kind of stick together and smoke together. Compared to like the players that got money, they do it on their time, in their big house and stuff. But the ones that's catching the vans to the practice facilities is the ones that's we sticking together. So you face a lot of stress as an athlete. There's just so many different stories that every athlete has of them facing a pressure moment and they use cannabis to kind of ease themselves before that pressure came. So I've got many stories where I used it before, the day before they was gonna release everybody. You sit in the room nervous as heck, hands shaking, you're just trying to do anything to relax, talk to somebody, call somebody, But that's just the battles you face, the stigma that's built around, athletes and how they have a demand for it.
And you bring up a very good point, and Dr. Damaso explains the system in 5 words. It helps us to relax, eat, sleep, forget, and protect. Any one of those things out of balance will affect your life. I describe it in 1 word: life. The first drop of breast milk a baby receives has endocannabinoids called anandamide, and we know in animal studies when you block this, the animal doesn't suckle, and if it doesn't suckle, it dies. And we're not going to talk about this and teach everybody. So it's very important. I want to open this up to questions, and I want to leave it up with one statement that I made. Cannabis is not an entrance drug, it's an exit drug from pharmaceuticals, narcotics, alcohol, and nicotine. And I truly believe it's not for everybody, but it should be a first-line option and not the last resort. Thank you, guys. Questions? Anybody? No questions?
What are your thoughts on cannabis use and pregnancy? Because I didn't know if you people that do that.
Okay, the question is, what are your thoughts on cannabis use in pregnancy? Guys, anybody here a papa?
I am.
You want to comment on it and I'll add to it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my viewpoint is very simple. I mean, society's accepted people to be on all kinds of pharmaceuticals, from antipsychotic medications to opioids to I've heard even fentanyl. I think from what I understand too, if a pregnant mom is addicted to heroin, they actually keep her addicted so that she doesn't go through withdrawal and the baby doesn't die. So the things that are accepted, I think cannabis is a safe option. Traditionally, throughout most cultures, cannabis has been used by the women for exactly that, for labor pains, the actual birth itself, and leading up to it. So nausea, a little bit. I mean, I think it's probably the safest option for all these symptoms that women face.
And again, I want to add to that. I said the word life, right? So guess what? Even people getting pregnant now, if their balance is not there in the uterine or the sperm, both ends, we have a problem. And we're using cannabis. There's a lot of women of mine that have had PTS, and they won't even think about having sex. So if you can't have sex, that's another issue. But the research study, let me give you the research study. Melanie Dreyer has done a study in Jamaica, and she's looked at people, and they don't want to publish that data, where she has looked at a community of people that have used it as part of their culture. And those babies have more socially and emotionally connected and don't have any problems, and they don't have any IQ problems. So again, get the facts, babe. Please, those babes need to know this information, but we need to understand that we have to get this information, and it is there. Our babies are given alcohol by their mothers, and we allow it in our society. It's so socially accepted. And a lot of those women don't even know they're pregnant half the time in their first trimester. So again, if you're thinking about getting pregnant, I say avoid alcohol and NSAIDs for 1 year. Pregnancy is not just 9 months. And for men, I say folic acid and zinc. And cannabis is safe, especially when you have the other drugs. Does that answer your question? Yes. Thank you so much. The question is understanding how much the politics has had. How does that help me to advocate? Well, facts are facts. Okay, this is the bottom line. I keep telling people, no 3 facts. Nobody has ever died. That's a fact. The United States of America has a patent number 6630507, that's issued October 7, 2003, and it clearly states antioxidant and neuroprotectant, prevention, treatment of Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, strokes, and heart. This is fact. And the third fact I want everybody to know is that it was prescribed by doctors in this country from 1850 to 1942. Opioid addiction, alcoholism, labor pains, menstrual cramps, these were all the treatment. So these are the 3 facts that all of these guys will know, and they will be able to tell you that, and that's what you guys should know. And we say reach 1, teach 10. Thank you.
You may have touched on this. I just have a question. So if you have your car and you live between states, say the deep south, where it's still highly illegal to use cannabis, what would you say if you're traveling between, like say, between Maine and Louisiana, and you have your caregiver card?
The question is, what do you do when you're traveling between states and you have a caregiver card? Well, it depends on the color of your skin. Maybe as blunt as that. Depends where you're going, who you're traveling with, and depending on if they stop you. And you know, this is medicine. If you're diabetic in this state, it doesn't go away because I go to Rhode Island or we go to Spain or any other country. If you're an amputee, you're an amputee in this country. It doesn't grow a limb back. And this is, again, legalization across the nation and globally.
So does that go against HIPAA and your rights and everything?
Well, this again, guess what? Cannabis is in Schedule 1 along with heroin, LSD, and ecstasy. So we don't have any HIPAA rights. FYI. So in my practice, I don't release my records to anybody, including my patients, because at the end of the day, it's in Schedule 1. But I'm in a state that protects me. And I have no regrets. I haven't written an opioid in 10 years, and I ain't going back. So thank you.
You touched on this breastfeeding. I have a Merisma just came along, and it is a mother can't breastfeed the baby has to do that reaction to milk. So in a case like that, is there a way to feed the baby somehow?
You know, you bring up a very good question because there's a lot of formulas that are out there that babies have reaction to, and then they have to give them reflux medicine for a little baby. Reflux meds that we know are not good. So I would love to see, again, we're talking about product development, if we can have milk products, hemp milk products that can be given for babies. You know, that can be supplemented. Even for the mothers. So yes, I'd love to see it.
What it seems like is that what you were saying is it's all inflammation. Everything starts with inflammation. It's so simple. Everything happens to us because of inflammation. Every injury is because of inflammation. It's so simple.
Steve's comment is every injury starts with inflammation.
Everybody, everything's a
Period. Skin, dermatitis, arthritis, bursitis, appendicitis, every freaking thing is an itis, pleuritis. And cancer, I just want to touch upon cancer, folks. When I hear the word cancer, I want to see cannabis as the first line. 4 specific properties that it works for. It's anti-proliferative, it doesn't let the cancer cell multiply. It's anti-metastatic, it doesn't let the cancer cell spread. It's anti-proliferative. Anti-agenesis, which means it doesn't let the blood supply, and apoptosis, it causes cell death. Very specific. 7 out of 10 people treated with chemotherapy die. 7 out of 10 people treated with cannabis survive. Fact. Closing comments.
It's great to be here, and great that everybody here is finally realizing how good this plant is, and we got to keep the word out, and like Doc said, make sure it's safe and enjoy it. That's what it's here for.
Yeah, let's all try to break the stigma. Continue to tell, family and friends, and educate them on it, and have them educate others. The more the better. The more people talk about it, the better.
Yeah, to add on Eric's statement, definitely, you just gotta talk about it, you know? Talk about it, test your stuff, know your growth. That's all.
I think I think it's a huge educational component that still goes along with this. So that we haven't really scratched the surface of what cannabis can really do, and the true potential. So I think respecting it, obviously, know your grower, know your farmer, where it's coming from, and again, keep spreading the good word. I mean, I think it's the power of numbers. The more educated we are, the more knowledge we have, the more power we have as people. So keep learning. That's it.
We're going to be doing a meet and greet at 7 o'clock. My brother is Dr. B.A. Shiva, who's running for Senate, and I'm supporting him because he wants to make sure that we have clean medicine and that we don't have GMO products. So join us for 7 o'clock with the Jocks. God bless, be well. Thank you. Total Healthcare THC is our website if you need to get in touch. Right here. We're going to be right outside. Thank you, guys.